everybody, it's Jody here and welcome to the Nook. Today I'm going to do a video that was requested of me a long time ago, like 6 or 8 months ago, and I never got around to doing it. And today I figured, hey, we've been talking about palettes a lot on my channel, so let's just get her done. The perfect palette tag. Okay. So question number one was best packaging. This was a hard one for me because I am a packaging junkie. If the palette doesn't have nice packaging, for the most part, see you later. I don't care the quality. If it's not going to look pretty in my drawer, on my stand, or when I'm using it, I'm probably not going to be interested. I know, that's bad, but it's honest. So I actually went with this guy, and this was the Rainforest to the Sea eyeshadow palette. There is something about this palette that I just find absolutely mesmerizing, with the peacock feathers, and it looks like the ocean, and I see it, and it just gives me warm fuzzies. The purple and the aqua sort of takes me back to like the early 90s. I have like flashbacks with it. I love it. I think it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite packages. I was torn between a couple, but this sucker, it just won. It just won. It's so pretty. I mean, the inside's your traditional. You guys have seen this from me before. I've done a review on this. It's your traditional circle kind of eyeshadow palette, but the packaging on the outside, it's a winner. It's a winner. How do you go wrong with that? Okay, question number two, best color payoff. Well, I have a lot of palettes that have excellent, extremely good color payoff. I would have to say that the best color payoff I get as a brand in total out of everybody has to be Kat Von D. So I would say that the one that gives me like the most like holy crap, this is insane, is my My Vida Loca palette from Kat Von D. I love it because not only are the neutral colors in the middle pigmented as all hell, but these bright guys all around the outside are just crazy hella pigmented, like nuts. Like that's one swipe. That's one swipe. I didn't go back and forth. I didn't do nothing with that. That's one. Here's an orange one. One swipe. I mean, look at that. You can't go wrong with that. There is no effort involved in getting insane color payoff. So Kat Von D wins. She wins, and it doesn't matter. These, the Shade Light eye palette, the little Shade Light quads, my Interstellar palette, all of them are pigmented like this, like to the point where you're almost afraid of them. They're just so amazing. So Kat Von D shadows, best pigment. I was about to wipe these off and I looked at them and I'm like, wow, those look like a high school, like, I don't know. Is that just me? But the orange and that shade of blue, I don't know why I selected those two, but they definitely look like something a high school mascot should be wearing. Anyways, moving on. My brain goes woo woo sometimes. Most versatile palette. That by far, I am going to say my Too Faced chocolate bar palette, the original one. I love this palette. I've talked about this palette a lot on my channel. And the reason I decided to go with it as the most versatile, even though it doesn't have like crazy pops of colors and things like that, is that this, in a pinch, can work as a lot of different things. I have actually used this shade right over here, and it is called Hazelnut. I've actually used that as a bronzer, very, very lightly as a bronzer. I have used this milk chocolate here, mixed with a little bit of this guy here, the semi-sweet, so the milk chocolate and semi-sweet, to actually use as a contour shade when I forgot. And I've actually used this triple fudge as an eyeshadow, as an eyebrow powder when I was missing one. So I called this one my most versatile because I have used it for a lot of things that it hasn't been intended for, because apparently I don't know how to pack my own suitcase and end up having to use, you know, something else to make stuff work, and that one has worked in a multitude of ways for me. So very, very versatile. Best for traveling. Now this was a tie. Well, it wasn't really a tie, but this one I had to say too. I talked about this in my palette collection, but my Naked Basics, it is great for anything that I need in the mattes. It's good. It's limited, but it's great for traveling. And then my little Makeup Forever 8 Shadow Artist Palette. There is one matte shade in here right there. But the rest of these are all beautiful shimmers and pops of color and glory. So between the two of these, I can go hella crazy, like sparkly, go into the disco, or I can tame it down and do like a nice everyday simple look with it, with a little bit of sheen, because I'm a shimmer whore. I like the shimmers. So anyways, these are great for packing because I can actually like just pop them into my overnight bag without having to pack tons of stuff. When you start getting into these big size palettes and packing, I can take these two. They're all I need. They're probably exactly what I'm going to pack when I go to Vegas. It's going to be great. Anyways, biggest regret. My biggest regret, and I'm going to hold it sideways so I don't flash you guys, is this dude right here. This is the NARS Narcissist Dual Intensity eyeshadow palette. I looked up the cost of when I purchased it. When I purchased it, this little sucker set me back 90 Canadian dollars. The reason it's my biggest regret is because of the cost and the fact that I'm just not that impressed with the shadows when they're dry. And for me personally, if I have to wet my brush to make it work, it's just an extra step, and I'm too lazy and have so many other palettes to choose from where I don't have to take that extra step to get the bold, crazy, or bright looks that I want. So this was kind of a bummer for me because it's a little underloved. Best color names. Oh my god. This was absolutely hands down. Now, I grew up in the 90s, so this to me is like, oh, the best names ever, and it is the Bomb Rockstar palette. For sure. I mean, how do you go wrong? It's Metallica, Blink 1982, Iron Maiden, The Stroke, Lead Zeppelin, Rem instead of REM, Alice Cooper, Third Eye Blinded, the disco highlight down here is called Solid Gold, the blush is called Pop Pop, Don't You Want Me, and this is the best, this is the thing that wins it right here, is the lipsticks in here, which I've never used, but we've got Millie and Vanilla. So, this by far has the best names ever. It wins. It wins. It's nostalgic for me. The names are just so creative and fun. Love it. It's so good. And to boot, it's a really good quality palette. It's another one that I will take traveling with me because the blush on there is great. The highlight on there works really, really well. All of the colors are really great. I can get a ton of looks out of it with only taking one palette. The lipsticks are there, the Millie and Vanilla, but I never actually really used them at all. Okay, so least used, if you guys saw my review on this is going to come as absolutely no surprise. Right here, I don't use it. You guys can see, I tried for 2 weeks straight on this sucker, making it work. The eyeshadows are patchy, they're powdery as heck, they don't last long on the eyes, they don't blend well. The blushes in here, I love Tarte blushes, but these don't even remotely closely live up to the quality of the full-size pans. They're okay. The blushes aren't too bad. And then this Park Avenue Princess, it's the glitter version. It is just way too glittery for me. It's way too goldy for me. It just makes me look like I done rubbed myself with a disco ball. It's not good. It's not great. It's not my favorite. Anyways, most used, I'm gonna be honest, my most used is my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette that I've already showed you guys. It's a ride or die. If I can't think of what I want to do, this is the sucker that I pull out the most. But my most loved, and Desert Island, which one I would take to a desert island, man, that was hard. And I figured if it was the palette I was gonna take to the desert island, obviously it was probably my most loved. And this one will probably come as a surprise to people. But I actually picked the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I know a lot of people were not especially super pleased with it. I use mine all the time. I love it. Yes, some of the shades I do have to build up a little bit, but that's not a ride or die thing for me. I'm okay with things being slightly underpigmented from time to time. It's nice. That's why I would take this to a desert island. The other reason is because there's enough warm tones and neutrals in there to get a really basic neutral look, but it also has my pops of green. There's some really nice purple. We got some peach. We got some bright pink. we got some kind of rosy pink, we got some gold. This just has a variety of pops of color. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, I'm not one of the girls that goes crazy hella color all the time, but I'm also not one of those ones that is a neutral queen and that's all I do. I like mixing it up. I like doing a neutral look with a pop of color somewhere. So that's why I picked this one, because it has enough bright pops of color in there and enough of these nice warm neutral kind of things that I could do pretty much anything I needed or my little heart sort of desired to get done out on the desert island. Looking good for, I assume and hope, if I'm on a deserted island, I would at least have a Wilson with me. Alright, so that was the perfect palette tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if any of your palette choices would have been the same, or if there's something else, or if you think I'm just all out wrong. Please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear what your guys' favorites are. If you guys enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And as always, guys, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you all next time.